Let's take a look at the complete collection of He-Man figures in the Masterverse line so far. Let's start out right away with the first release in the Masterverse line, I think back in 2021. And this release arrived without a lot of fanfare. People weren't really impressed with the portrait. They thought he looked really boyish. And the Masterverse articulation and overall look of the figures hadn't grown on people just yet. At least not the old school guys that were hoping for the return of Motu Classics, which I will agree is arguably the greatest He-Man line of all time. My personal opinion, I love the figure. I like his new look, a little bit leaner up top, bulky in the lower part of his body, big strong lower base, powerful dude, great articulation all around. H harness, very dope. And he started the line off for us. The second He-Man release that we got was Savage He-Man. I like this release also very much. This figure, if you'll notice, side by side, he has a broader upper torso, giving him a wider stance at the shoulder and a more savage look overall. Our Savage He-Man, I don't think he came with a power sword. I think I just added that for him there. He's got that grit and grime washed all around his muscles. And of course, he's got that savage, untamed hair. The third He-Man we got in the line was an absolute winner chicken dinner. This guy came with the dagger in the boot, some mean shoulder pads, and this was our Viking He-Man. Brown straps on the harness. That kind of looks like the old school cross. Very cool. These shoulder pads come off. He's got the sheath in the back, or the holster in the back for the power sword. This was my favorite He-Man when it came out instantly, and I picked up some extras for customizing. Super dope He-Man. Coming in at number 4, I don't have any of his weapons out with him. Oh, here we go. The New Eternia Battle Armor He-Man. So he's got like a little bit of a medieval look with the armor coming over the hips here. He's got Eternia engraved there on the belt. These H pieces for the battle armor are swappable. You just pop them out after you open up the armor. He's got a scar on the face there, giving him a real gritty look. And I like this look overall. I'm going to put them all side by side. At this point in the line, we already definitely have 3 different face portraits. These 2 are not a match. These 2 are not a match. So by the 4th He-Man in the line, we started seeing a variety of different portraits. The 5th release in the Masterverse line, this is the CGI He-Man. He's got that unique logo there on the armor. And we see this again now in the Revolution season of the Masterverse cartoon, Masters of the Universe. And I think that's so dope how they're just tying in all this stuff and expanding, or rather like exploding the universe. So very cool. I like him. He has a very distinct anime cartoony look to him, and I like it. I like it. He's super brawny. Quick look at the back. His power sword, which I have away, is massive. It can peg right into this. So very cool. The 5th He-Man released, and the 6th He-Man release, the 40th anniversary He-Man. There is a retail version release of this figure. It's not in our 10 today because it's the same figure that we have here. We've got the orange belt, so orange armor pieces, red straps. Here, they brought the cross back. Very dope. You've got a metal sword. Your holster. This has like a full suede effect on both parts. Very dope. This has a brilliant shine to the orange. I mean, this is a masterpiece of a figure in the Masterverse line. And this was the 6th He-Man that we got. The 7th release, the Virgil Abloh He-Man. These figures got so much negative feedback and so much criticism that you can't help but say, damn, those people are racist. People got to stop tripping. They're just figures. It's an artistic take on the figures. It's supposed to be a conversation piece. And based on all the hate it got, it's definitely a conversation piece. And as a piece of art itself, it looks absolutely wonderful. He-Man and all the chocolate brown. It looks so dope. And this is the 7th release in the Masters of the Universe line. Also, at this stage of the game, looking at the standard Masterverse releases, we have 3 different upper torsos. So we have the standard release with the more narrow chest. We have the wider chest with the broader shoulders on Savage He-Man. And then we have the super buff chest with the wider shoulders of the 40th anniversary He-Man. So very nice to see them switching up that upper torso look for our He-Man. The 8th release in the line, New Adventures He-Man. He looks very, very much like the retro toy. I like his stance. Slightly less muscular thighs, give him a more lean look. Vertical hinges in the sword holding hand. He's got his little ponytail. The helmet is completely removable, even though it looks like it's a part of that portrait. And I think this is a really great looking figure. Didn't like the original toy release. Didn't like the cartoon at that point. But I'm digging this particular version. Very, very dope. The 9th release in the Masterverse line, the 1989 He-Man. I've swapped out the not Dolph Lundgren portrait, but this is an absolutely exquisite figure. The sculpting everywhere, the dagger in the boot. This sword is perfectly matched to the film. He's got accents all over his pistol, his holster, the belts, the harness. I mean, sculpting galore on this figure. Absolutely beautiful figure. Look at the shine on that cape, the gold at the bottom. The mechanism here, just like the movie, to hold the sword. Absolutely stellar figure. Gotta be one of the top 5 best Masterverse figures. Hell yes, the 9th He-Man released in the line. And the most recent and 10th He-Man released in the Masterverse line, Battle Armor He-Man. In this case, without the battle armor. This He-Man has the most updated upper torso. And I'm going to give you a comparison of that just because I think it's so dope that they decided to just give us that kind of variety. And of course, we have the 40th anniversary He-Man, which has the super buffed out look. But these are pretty close, with this one having just slightly more of a swollen muscular look. Here, especially up by the collarbone, you can see this muscle here is sunken, where here it is swollen. His traps here are less pronounced. Here he has completely buffed out traps. The chest here at the upper part of the chest, that's that really hard part of the chest to build out. Here you see how it's a little bit more sunken. And here you see how it just completely creates like a table across his chest and underneath the collarbone. Very, very dope sculpting. So heck yeah, very dope. 10 He-Man figures in the Masterverse line. It's been about 3 years. And we're 10 figures in. How dope is that? Of all the He-Men, if I had to pick one that was my favorite, it's definitely the Battle Armor He-Man from Revolution. I'm going to call him the current ultimate He-Man figure. He doesn't come with the power sword, but I think it is the perfect He-Man in the Masterverse line so far. We got some new variants in the new season of Revolution, and I'm excited for the hints at where the line is going in the future. You know, very, very awesome, very cool. As always, everybody, thank you so much for coming out and sharing in the experience of collecting toys as an adult. Until next time, everybody, thank goodness it's playtime.